Hey guys, Jonathan here with TLD. Hope you guys are doing well. Now I do have a Retina 5K iMac on the way, but before I get my hands on it, unbox it, test it, benchmark it, I wanted to talk about why you would possibly want a screen resolution of this density, the good, the bad, and overall why I'm excited for it. So for starters, 5K means it has a 5120 by 2880 resolution. So that is 2 times the resolution vertically and 2 times the resolution horizontally of a non-Retina 27-inch iMac, and that results in 4 times the total pixels with a total amount of 14.7 million pixels. Now the word I want you to focus on right now is perspective. Just recently, Dell announced its own 27-inch 5K monitor with a price tag of $2,500. The Retina 5K iMac is also $2,500, but it has an entire computer inside. That'll get you an Intel Core i5 3.5 GHz quad-core CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, a 1 TB Fusion drive, and an AMD R9 M290X GPU with 2 gigs of VRAM. You can bump that up to a Core i7 4 GHz CPU, which is really going to scream for single-threaded applications. The RAM, however, unlike most Apple products these days, is user upgradable up to 32 GB. So if you're interested in doing it yourself and saving a little bit of cash, I'll post a link to some kits down below. Now the stock 1 TB Fusion drive can be bumped up to 3 TB, or if you're all about that speed, you can configure it with up to 1 TB of pure flash storage. Lastly, the GPU can be bumped up to an AMD R9 M295X with 4 gigs of VRAM. Now, one of the questions that I've seen asked over and over again is, what is the big deal with this display? Why not go for a cheaper 4K option? Samsung and Asus both have 4K displays that are under $700, but the reason it's so much cheaper is those use TN panels as opposed to the IPS panel in this iMac. Now, IPS displays generally have a much better viewing angle and color accuracy, and this is important if you're going to use this for any video or photo work. Now, if you stepped up to the Asus 31.5-inch 4K display, that features an IZGO panel, which is beautiful. That alone is currently around $2,000, and that's with a price drop. So one of the other questions that I see all the time is, why do you need that many pixels? I am perfectly fine with my 720p content or 1080p, but you got to think about it. If you're doing photo or video, just a simple 12 megapixel photo has a resolution of 4000 by 3000. UHD video, on the other hand, has a resolution of 3840 by 2160. So with a 5K display, you could see the entire viewer 100% and still have screen real estate left over. So for me, working with 4K video, that is a big deal. Lastly, one of the questions and comments that I see all the time is, why would you want a screen resolution that high? Isn't text going to look super tiny and pretty much unreadable? Well, without scaling, yes, but with scaling, it's a beautiful thing. And scaling is one of the main reasons why the new iMac is 5K as opposed to 4K. The non-Retina 27-inch iMac, again, has a resolution of 2560 by 1440. 5120 by 2880 is exactly double that both ways, so the screen real estate visually, it looks the same, but here's how it works. For text, UI elements, menus, and so forth, for every 1 pixel of screen real estate, there are 4 pixels crammed into there, which results in a super crisp, super vibrant image. Conversely, it recognizes where a photo or video window might be, so instead of a 4:1 pixel ratio, it is now 1:1. And that's what allows you to view that entire 4K video window, but still have text and menu scale properly and not be the size of ants. Now, as exciting as all that is, I can definitely be critical of Apple because there was some disappointment for me. One being, they completely ignored the Thunderbolt display. I would have loved to have a standalone version of this to go alongside my Mac Pro, but it looks like, once again, Apple kind of put the professionals or the professional market on the back burner again. And I think they were worried that maybe that would have cannibalized some of the iMac sales. So for now, that is the only option we get. The other disappointment was the fact that this cannot be used as an external display. Now, we talked about some of the prices, so really, the thought of using this as a monitor and having a computer on the side as a bonus really isn't that crazy of a thought. But as of now, it is not supported, and if you were looking to use this with your Mac Pro, you are out of luck. At the end of the day, though, there's a lot of good that is coming out of this Retina 5K iMac, and I am super excited to check it out. There's just a lot of really cool technology that is happening right now. One of those things that stood out to me was the fact that Apple said they designed their own timing controller, or T-Con, so they're driving all these pixels off a single controller, whereas some 4K displays are actually using 2 just to power those pixels. So some pretty impressive technology going on. And speaking of technology, I want to give a huge thank you to Littlebits for supporting the channel and help making this video possible. Littlebits is the easiest and most extensive way to learn and prototype with electronics by using magnetic modules that require no wiring, soldering, or coding. Modules range from the very simple, power, sensors, and LEDs, so you could do something basic like enhance an arts and crafts project, all the way to the very complex, something like wireless modules where you could do something crazier like a cloud-based real-time weather dashboard. In a matter of minutes, I was able to whip up this little rotating stand for my Android guy, which could be a pretty cool little video back piece. And if you want to have some fun like this, or just learn a little more about electronics and prototyping, Littlebits is offering TLD fans 20 bucks off your first kit. All you gotta do is go to littlebits.com and enter the promo code today when you place your order, and you'll receive 20 bucks off your first kit, plus free shipping in the US. Once again, the offer code is today, and this is a cool way to not only support the channel, but also get into, learn, and appreciate technology just a little bit more. Aside from that, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you have a better idea of what the Retina 5K iMac is all about. If you found it helpful or educational, definitely feel free to hit that like button. It is much appreciated, and of course, in return, you get a virtual high five at your face. Now, as usual, if you guys have any questions, definitely drop a line down below. I do try my best to reply to as many as I can. It does get a little bit messy, so the absolute best way to get a hold of me is on Twitter at TLD Today. Again, if you guys missed anything, it'll be recapped down in the description along with the gear that I use to make these videos. This is Jonathan with TLD, and I will see you guys later.